So here we have personality theories. So una, we have psychoanalytic theory. So sa psychoanalytic theory, gawa yun ni Sigmund Freud. Nagfo-focus siya sa intrinsic drives or innate drives and motivations natin. Naniniwala si Freud na nagsa-start mag-develop yung personality mo early childhood sa first 6 years ng life. So, meron daw tong 3-part structure ng personality. So, ito yon. Id. Yung tatlo na yon is id, ego, and superego. So, first, we have id. Yung id, present yun at birth and is unconscious daw. Unconscious impulse meant toward the fulfillment of needs. So, dito, minamaximize yung pleasure and ina-avoid yung discomfort. So, parang iniisip mo lang lagi is yung gusto mo. So, pleasure principle, which can be understood as a demand to take care of needs immediately. So, kapag id, dapat nabibigay agad yung gusto. Compromises primitive instinctual drives, hunger, sex, aggression, and it says, I want. So, yun yung id, I want. Ang id is kasama din to, involves primary process of thinking. Strive for pleasure or meeting demands through the use of fantasies and images. Compulsive and walang moral. Yung ego naman, yun yung nagme-mediate between id and superego. Siya yung nagko-control and siya yung nasa gitna. So, ang ego, dinedelay niya yung mga desires na and gratification na gustong makuha ng id mo. So, nire-redirect niya yung nire-redirect niya to into more realistic approach and appropriate way para ma-meet yung needs mo. So, ito yung reality principle. It is the superego or rational mind that is called upon to control the instinctual impulses of the self-indulgent id. So, siya nga yung nagko-control si impulses ng id. So, yung ego, sinasabi naman dito, I think and I evaluate. So, ang ego dun is siya yung secondary process of thinking. Kino-compromise niya yung rational, logical thinking, and intelligence. Tapos, mini-maintain niya yung well-being. So, merong consciousness or divisions of mind. So, we have pre-conscious or subconscious. Ito, yung mga part na nandito is yung mga memories na nalimutan mo na. Pero, marirecall mo naman siya kapag gusto mo. So, the preconscious serves as a watchman for preventing unacceptable anxiety-producing memories from reaching conscious or awareness. Itong preconscious, hindi siya sakop ng conscious mind mo, pero easily siya mababalik or madadala into consciousness. Yung conscious naman, aware ka of here and now, alam mo kung anong nangyayari sa reality. It functions only when the person is awake. So, lahat ng content and memories mo dito, immediately available siya. Hindi mo na siya katulad kailangan nung sa kanina, sa pre-conscious na kailangan mo pang alalahanin, ganun. Dito, aware ka na agad, conscious ka na agad sa nangyayari. Yung unconscious naman, it is the largest part of our personality. Parang kino-compare daw siya sa hidden parts ng iceberg na nasa underwater. Ito yung nagbe-brings back ng memories na forgotten pero mahirap siyang ibalik from conscious at will. Basta yung pre-conscious kanina madaling ibalik. Yung conscious, di mo na kailangan ibalik kasi nandyan na siya. Yung unconscious, mahirap siyang ibalik. And nakasama din sa unconscious is all mental content and memories outside of the conscious awareness becomes conscious through the pre-conscious mind. So, yung mga bagay na hindi ka aware nung conscious ka, magiging aware ka doon kapag hindi ka na conscious or tulog. Yung super ego, yun naman yung nagsastruggle para i-keep yung id mo na maging happy. Parang siya yung nagtotolerate sa id mo. Ganon. It meets with the obstacles of the world. It occasionally meets the object that actually assists in attaining goals. The most influential objects in the world of the child is mom and dad. So, parang kapag, di ba yung baby, gusto niya na ganito, yung mama at papa, sila yung nag-i-spoil sa baby. So, sila yung super ego. Na it doesn't matter kung ano yung kailangan mo, basta ibibigay lang namin to sa'yo. Kasi nga, ini-spoil nila siya. Ang super ego ay nakokompleto lang kapag 7 years old na. Pero yung ibang tao, hindi talaga nila nakokompleto yung super ego. Kapag daw merong conflicts between id and ego and super ego, nagkakaroon yun ng fixation or blockage sa development. So, ang nangyayari is nagkakaroon ng either excessive dependence or manipulation. Yung super ego mo, yun yung conscience of the psyche and nagmo-monitor nga sa ego. And yung ego, siya naman yung nagsasabi ng I should or I ought. Yung super ego is composed of ego ideal. Yung ego ideal, yun yung reward. Yun yung nagre-reward sa person with feelings of well-being and pride kapag na-meet niya yung demands ng super ego. So, kapag na-meet yung demands ng super ego, magkakaroon ka ng ego ideal. Yung conscience naman, yun naman yung nagpapunish sa person with guilt feelings kapag na-deviate yung demands ng ego. So, ng super ego. So, kapag hindi mo sinunod yung super ego mo, magkakaroon ka ng conscience. So, ito naman yung psychosocial theory. So, ang psychosocial theory ay gawa ni Erik Erikson. So, dito ipapasok yung mga stages of life. Wait lang po. So, dito, sa infancy, 0 to 1 years old, meron trust and mistrust. Sa early childhood, 1 to 3, autonomy versus shame and doubt. Yung 3 to 6 naman, yun yung play age, yun yung initiative versus guilt. 7 to 11 years old naman is industry versus inferiority. 12 to 18 years old naman is identity versus confusion. Early adulthood or 19 to 29 is intimacy versus isolation. Middle age is or 30 to 64 years old is generality or stagnation. And sa old age, we have integrity versus despair. So, sinabi dito sa psychosocial theory na pinagsasama yung internal psychological factors and external social factors. Each stage is nagbe-build upon others and nagfo-focus sa challenge or dun sa stage na yon merong challenge na kailangan mong malagpasan or ma-resolve during that stage para makapag-move ka effectively into the next stage of development. So, yung resolution ng each crisis is nagdedepende sa interaction ng individual and sa support na pinoprovide ng social environment niya or ng tao sa paligid niya. So, yung mga unresolved conflicts from earlier stages ng life pwede yun makaapekto sa later development mo sa buhay. So, we have cognitive theory. So, ang cognitive theory ay ginawa ni Jean Piaget. Ang sinabi lang naman dito is ina-explain yung development and structure and kung paano naapektuhan yung thought process and yung influence behavior nila. So, ang development, mamamaster mo lang daw yan if yung mga previous stage o yung mga dati pang stages or challenges na kinaharap mo is na-master mo or nalagpasan mo ng maayos. So, thought occurs through the development of schemas or mental health. So, itong cognitive ni Piaget, merong schema, di ba? Yung schema, yun yung alam mo na information. So, hindi ka makakagawa ng isang bagay kung hindi mo alam yung information about doon. Ganon. Behavioral theory naman, we have behavioral theories or learning theories. It is not generally stage. Hindi siya generally not stage-based. Yung principles that govern behavior are accurate at every age, focuses on the basic relationship between the stimulus and the response, investigating situations that cause responses to occur most predictably. So first, we have classical conditioning ni Ivan Pavlov. Natututo tayo through association. Pinipair yung neutral stimulus with the meaningful one. So pag dito, stimulus muna, then magkakaroon ng response. So, for example, yung bell. So, yung dog, kapag may food, naglalaway yung dog. Kapag sinama mo or in-associate mo yung tunog ng bell sa food ng dog, every time na makikita ng dog yung bell, iisipin niya na kakain na siya or may food na dadating. That's why, magkakaroon siya ng conditioned response na maglalaway siya dahil sa bell. Yung bell, yun yung conditioned stimulus. Yung operant conditioning naman ni B.F. Skinner, siya yung gumawa ng Skinner box. Learning through associating behavior with a particular consequence. So, every action na ginagawa mo, meron siyang katumbas na consequence. Meron tayong 2 types ng reinforcement, positive and negative. Yung positive reinforcement, mauulit yung action kasi meron siyang positive na effect sa'yo. For example, kapag tumaas yung grades mo ng line of 9, bibigyan ka ng pera. So, positive reinforcement yun kasi binigyan ka ng magandang bagay para maulit yung action na yon. Yung negative naman is removal of an unpleasant stimulus. So, kapag ganito, kunyari, mababa yung grades mo. So, sasabihin sa'yo, kapag bumaba ka ng line of 8, kukunin ko yung gamit mo. So, ito, nagre-reinforce ka ng negative na kukunin mo sa kanya. Kaya, hindi niya nauulitin yung action na bababa yung grades niya sa 80 kasi nga, kukunin mo yung important sa kanya. Yung punishment naman is magre-receive ka ng noxious consequence or consequence na pangit. For example, kapag pinindot mo yung button is makukuryente ka. Or, makukuryente ka. So, never mo nang gagawin ulit yung pagpindot sa button. So, next we have social modeling ni Albert Bandura. So, sinabi lang dito na natututo tayo through observation of the consequences na hindi naman natin kailangan ma-experience yung something para ma-understand and matutunan yung behaviors na appropriate para sa setting na yon. So, kunyari may nagwawala doon, syempre papanoorin mo muna kung anong, tas iisipin mo kung anong gagawin mo. hindi yun magbo-barge in ka na lang doon, baka mamaya mabugbog ka din, whatsoever. So, dito, stimulus, observation, and response. Yung interpersonal theory naman ni Sullivan core ideas, first American to construct comprehensive personality theory, emphasizes childhood friendships in the formation of personality, chumship, intimacy, and security. Personality is shaped from our relationship with others. Personality can never be isolated from the complex of interpersonal relationships in which the person lives. So, si Sullivan, naniniwala siya na yung mga tao sa paligid natin is very important para sa development natin. Si Sullivan is pinanganak noong 1892 sa Norwich, New York. Anak siya ng poor working man and a farmer. And lumaki siya ng isolated and loner. Naging MD siya nung 25 years old siya from small Chicago Medical School. And naging psychiatrist siya sa mental hospital in Maryland. So, tinawag siya na clinical wizard kasi na-treat niya yung schizophrenia. Never siya nagpakasal and nag-move siya from obscurity to fame in just within 8 years. So, ang tensions, yun yung potential for actions or actions themselves that may not be experienced in awareness. So, yun yung parang potentially or tension na parang pinipilit kang gawin yung isang action nang hindi ka aware. So, needs. Tension brought about by biological imbalance within a person and the psychochemical environment both inside and out the organism. So, merong parang nagpupush sa'yo within you and within sa environment mo na gawin yung ganong action. So, can be physiological or interpersonal. The most basic interpersonal needs is that of tenderness. So, anxiety, yun yung disjunctive and calls for no consistent action for its relief. Yung anxiety, chief dispiritive force siya na nagbablock sa development natin ng interpersonal relationships. So, parang hindi tayo makapag-interact sa ibang tao kasi ina-anxiety tayo, ganon. Kaya hindi tayo nagkakaroon ng interpersonal relationship sa kanila. Yung energy transformation, tensions that are transformed into actions either overt or covert. So, needs represent a balance between biology and the environment that signal the individual to engage in action. So, yung tension or yung parang pinipilit tayo gumawa ng action, natatransform yun into energy. Tapos, yung energy na yun yung action talaga, nagagawin na talaga natin yung action na kanina tempted lang tayo gawin. Yung dynamism, typical behavior patterns that characterize a person through a lifestyle. So, yun yung dynamism, yun yung dynamic mo. Parang yun yung routine mo na parang expected ka na mag-act up on this way. So, the ways in which the individual typically meets his or her needs or deals with anxiety. So, ito na yung kinasanayan mong way para makuha yung mga gusto mo and mag-deal sa anxiety mo. So, yung 3 dynamisms is disjunctive or malevolent, negative interpersonal behavior, conjunctive or intimacy, positive interpersonal behavior, and isolating or loss is unrelated to interpersonal. So, yung malevolence or disjunctive, destructive patterns of behavior is related sa malevolence. Yun yung feeling of living among one's enemies. Nag-arise daw yun at the age of 2 or 3 dahil sa parental neglect or rejection. So, parang nakikitira ka daw sa mga taong ayaw mo. Yun yung malevolence. Yung intimacy, dynamism, yun yung conjunctive beneficial patterns of behavior such as intimacy and self-esteem. Nag-grow to dahil sa early needs of tenderness, emerges in the championship, pre-pubescent best friend relationship with a peer equal status. Ito yung nagpapababa sa anxiety and loneliness natin since meron nga tayong kasama. Kaya, bumababa yung anxiety natin kasi sanay na tayo and hindi na tayo mag-isa kasi nga meron tayong kasama. Yung isolating dynamism naman, isolating patterns of behavior that are unrelated to interpersonal behavior, yun yung last. Yung example niya is self-centered needs. More on sexual gratification yung papasok dito. Yung personification naman, representation of self and others. Mental images that we acquire during the development to help us understand ourselves and the world. So, ito is yung parang sarili nating interpretation sa mundo. And yun yung nag-help sa atin mag-understand. A cognitive approach to understanding personality. So, personification help maintain emotional equilibrium and reduce anxiety. Separate from good and bad. Tapos meron tayong 3 self-personification. Yun yung the bad me, the good me, and the not me. So, sa the bad me, nangyayari yun or nabubuo yun dahil sa mga experiences kung saan nakaranas tayo ng punishment and disapproval. Nagre-represent to ng mga bagay na ayaw natin sa sarili natin or negative sa atin tapos in-hide natin yun sa iba. And yung bad me, nagkaka-anxiety tayo doon kasi ayaw nating ipakita sa iba yung bad me natin. Katulad ng mga embarrassing moments natin, yung guilt natin about sa ginawa natin dati, yun yung bad me. In the good me, ito naman yung nabubuo dahil sa experiences of reward and approval. Experiences associated with tenderness and intimacy, everything we like about ourselves, and the part of us we share with others to prefer to focus it on because it does not produce anxiety. So, yung the good me, dun nga natin yung nakukuha sa reward and approval and tenderness and intimacy. And yun yung mga bagay na gusto natin about sa sarili natin. Syempre, kapag gusto mo about sa sarili mo, di ba? I-share mo yun sa iba. Kasi, dun ka comfortable. Dun ka walang nafe-feel na anxiety. So, yung the not me naman, yun yung anxiety-provoking experiences that invoke security operations may become dissociated from self to form the not me. Security operations, Sullivan concept of defense mechanism. Ito yung mga experiences na denied. Experiences that kept out of the awareness and repressed. So, ito yung mga parang hindi natin tanggap na atin or parang kino-contain lang natin siya sa sarili natin and ayaw natin maging aware na ganito tayo. Kapag in-acknowledge natin yung not me natin, nagke-create yun ng high anxiety and negative emotions.